Hello guys, welcome back to your first PHP tutorial. On this tutorial we're gonna see something which is called a conditional statement. Conditional statement is a statement which runs under a certain condition. For instance, it is like saying if something happen, do this, and if something doesn't happen, just do another thing. It stands for like that. Okay, so in a PHP there are different type of conditional statements. For this tutorial we're gonna see two conditional statements which are called if and if else statement. Okay, so what an if statement stands for, the way you write conditional if a conditional statement in a PHP programming language, the syntax is gonna be this one. You're gonna start with a keyword which is called if, and then you're gonna have a certain conditions. For instance, if something happens, okay, then the thing that you want to do, you want to put it in open and closed brace. This condition is going to be executed if a certain condition is true, and if something doesn't happen, this piece of code doesn't execute. For instance, let's create our own if condition. Okay, for instance, let's create a variable which is called tensei here, and let's give it a boolean equivalent of true. Okay, so this equal sign here, actually this is not an equal sign, this operator is called an assignment operator. So this true will be assigned to this variable. Okay, so what my condition to iterate is that if this variable is true, I want to execute, or I want to display this is true. If it doesn't, if it's not true, I don't want to display anything. So what I have to do is that if, then I'm gonna write my variable name, which stands for tensei. If this thing is equals to true, by the way, to write equals to in a PHP, you're supposed to use two equal sign. Okay, this one is called equals to, and this one stands for an assignment operator. Okay, so there is a difference between saying equals to and assigning a value. Okay, if you want to assign a value, you have to use only one equal sign, and if you want to use an equal to operator, you have to use two equal sign. Okay, so what my condition to run is that if this variable is true, I want to display, for instance, if this is true, this line of code is my condition, and the body of my conditional statement will be here, which will be enclosed under opening and closing brace. Okay, so if this thing is true, I want to echo out to the user this is true, this is true. Okay, so this line of code is going to be executed under this condition only. Okay, let me save this thing and let me go to my browser here, and let me run this program. Actually, I'm still on a tensei.php file, so I'm gonna write localhost / tensei.php. So this thing will be displayed which says this is true, because it is under enclosed in a condition. Okay, because this tensei is already true, this line of code will be executed. For instance, let me make this thing to be false. Okay, so that this thing will not be executed. Okay, let me come to my page and refresh it. This will not be executed because here tensei is a false, and this condition will be executed under a true statement. This type of conditional statement is called an if condition. Okay, so there is another thing which is called also an if else statement. Okay, so the if else statement will have the following structure. There will be a keyword which is called if, and you're going to have an open and closed what's called parenthesis, which will be written under this condition, and this will be the body for the if clause. This line of code will be executed if the condition is true, but if something is executing wrong, or if the condition fails, we will have a backup plan, or we will have an else condition here. Okay, so if the condition is true, this piece of code will be executed, and if the condition is false, this piece of code will be executed. Okay, so such kind of statement is called an if else statement. So with that being said, let's do one example according to this condition. Okay, let's do the previous example. For instance, let me have a variable which is called tensei, which will be a boolean, and let me call it true. Okay, so if this variable, okay, sorry guys, if this variable is equals to true, okay, if this condition is true, okay, because I have a boolean here, and actually I have told you the difference. This one is equals to, and this one is an assignment operator. And if I can and have an else condition here, for instance, if this thing is true, I want to display to the user that this is true. This is true, okay? Okay, because this is the body for the if condition. If this thing falls true, this thing will be executed. But if this condition fails, this one will be executed. So I will come here and I will equal to the user, for instance, this is false. Sorry. Okay. If this piece of code is correct, or if this condition passed, this piece of code will be executed, else this one will be executed. Under my end condition, the value for sensei is true, okay? Then I want to display to the user, this will be displayed to the user, this is true, okay? So let me come to my browser and see, it says this is true, okay? But what else? What if this one is false, for instance? False, okay? If this thing is false, this piece of condition will terminate, okay? It doesn't work. It will pass this statement. Then it will come. It will make sure that is sensei true. Then that condition doesn't pass, so it will come to the next statement, and this is false will be executed. So let me come here and refresh my code. This is false will be executed. On the next tutorial, I'm gonna show you guys another more example under the if-else statement, and we're gonna work out different types of example through these conditional statements, and we're gonna see more about this thing. And thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, and see you on the next tutorial.